5 of the Overwatch coach. So Season 4 ended today. I hope everybody did well. I had a nice last push on my SR. I went up 200 points the day before the season, and then the day before the season ended, and then the day that the season ended, I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't get a good game to save my life. So much toxicity, throwing, people just on edge, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I hope you guys had more luck than I did, because my last day of the Season 4 didn't go so well. So today, or tonight I should say, what we're doing is we're reviewing a Roadhog on Route 66. So this is our first Roadhog review of the channel, so I'm looking forward to that. A few things I'll be looking for off of this Roadhog. His hook placement and accuracy, his target priority, who he's shooting the hook at, is he landing one-shot kills when he hooks his target, or are they getting away? His survivability and positioning, things like that. So if anybody wants to submit anything to the channel, please feel free to do so. The email is up on the screen along with the requirements I'm looking for, 480p or higher, preferably higher. Tell me what map hero you're playing, what your SR is. Hit tab throughout the game so I can see the stats and things like that. No music playing in the background. Webcam is okay if you want your face shown on the video. If you're running a Twitch channel, feel free to send me the link to that, and I'll put it in the description for other people to check out if they want to. So, without further ado, let's get into the video and let's see what we got.
What's wrong?
The team.
You want Lucio or Zenyatta?
The team's talking, which is always a good thing. People are willing to switch, willing to take different roles. That's always a good thing too.
This is from.
Alright, let's look at the team comp here. So, Route 66, we are on attack. So, a couple things that I'm comfortable with. We've got a Diamond Widow who's got a lot of time on the game. So, I'm feeling comfortable letting them do what they want to do. If they think that they can Widow, I'm okay with it. I'm always a little sketchy of Widows in the lower SR games, but in this case, I'm willing to see what they got. So we've got our mobile tank to attack the high ground, doing some diving. Genji can help with that. The Lucio and the Ana. Let me clear this here. So we got Lucio and we've got Ana. Now, this isn't the greatest for this kind of a dive comp. The Ana's good for Roadhog. She can be okay for the Winston. And then, depending on aim, Genji could be a problem, depending on their aim. If their aim's really good, maybe not. This is more dive comp than anything. So the Lucio is going to have to really try to stick with both the Genji and the Winston. If he can't do that, they're going to have a bad time and they're not going to be super effective. So I'm a little concerned with what we're going to get out of our healing core. I think a Zenyatta or a Mercy or both would be maybe better here. But if the Ana's got good aim, she might be able to keep everything going.
Last night. You can watch it after the match. What?
Now the Roadhog, he's really going to have to stick with the point with this comp.
Yeah. Yeah, but like we literally just started pushing.
It dissipates.
Okay, so we hooked a Hanzo. We didn't finish him off, but he did still die.
want to pick up the health bag.
Okay, so we're 1 for 2 right now with the hooks. Doing a little shield breaking, now we're trying to flank. And we missed the Ana, so we're 1 for 3.
I got slapped in the tunnel.
And the Ana gets her revenge. Your team kind of falls over to you, which is fine.
What? I'm getting wrecked.
Okay, there's a Roadhog on the other team. He
didn't
missed
mean-
his hook.
Damn it. Where's the get? This, we,
We're 1 for 4 on hooks right now. Okay, let's look at what they're running. So we've got Hanzo. So we got the Weeaboo soldiers here. We've got Anna's. Ana is solo healing. So okay. So with Ana solo healing, and you guys having a Genji and a Winston, these two here need to be on the Ana. Now we've got 2 self healers. That takes a little bit of pressure off the Ana, but if you guys can take the Ana out, this is an easy game for you guys. So, I'm just trying to look here. I'm trying to pick up any kind of... So, like, here the Widow, I don't see her really doing a lot. I mean, if she can get a line of sight, these two are the 2 that she can pick. Well, I suppose Soldier too. But I'd be asking the Ana to Widowmaker to switch, because I don't see a lot that she's going to be countering unless her shot's just flat out amazing and she can pick off Genjis. I'd be looking at her to swap at this point. So right now you've got the 3 golds, you got the bronze and the self heal. Objective time. I guess I'm okay with you being silver right now, but by the end of the game I would hope that you're probably closer to basically on gold. I mean, it's you and the Lucio. Actually, you and the Ana, excuse me. That should be really just glued to that cart right now. Oh, we switched to Reinhardt.
Stay alive.
Okay.
They're getting pushed back to spawn.
Oh my god. Okay. Hanzo's
My
better
shield's getting
counter to
low.
Genji. We need something to counter Genji. No.
Alright, so you're keeping the fire strikes going. That's good.
I'm on the Genji.
Right now, you're really out of position. You've got a lot of people up in front of you that you're not shielding. I mean, it's either you're out of position or they're out of position. Either way, what I'd be doing right now is getting on the microphone and trying to
my shield's low.
set some order. So you tell them your shield is low. That's good.
I
You know,
need push back like
I
Rock.
can't.
Roadhog's ult.
so Roadhog's ulting already.
I can't do much either.
I have
Okay.
1 kill.
Right now, everybody's getting kind of frustrated on your team. At this point,
In a way, they're running triple DPS.
I would be trying to be the voice of reason, try to calm people down, and then try to organize a push. Because right now, okay, like the Genji, he's trying to poke. He's not really going to do anything.
My shield's gone.
We needed Goblin on Winston.
You know, it's like right now you guys aren't really... All right,
Can you please?
let's pause for a second here. So you were standing... actually, what I'm going to do is rewind just a little bit. Okay. So you never really made it past... Let's just say right here. You never really made it past there. Now I get that your shield's kind of low. So what I would have done, probably kind of hit over here, let the shield build up a little bit, maybe like about 1500 or so, poke back out and start shielding and start moving forward. And while I'm over in this area, I'd be telling my team, hang back just a little bit, and when I'm ready to come out with my shield, we're going to do a hard push. And then when your shield gets to about 5 to 300 worth, I'd be doing a charge on somebody. I basically when I'm moving up on these guys, I'm only thinking about lining up who my charge victim's going to be. And as soon as the shield's getting low, you get on your microphone and you say, shield's about to drop, I'm charging in. You make your charge. Hopefully the Winston follows suit and bubbles you know, and you got a little bit of protection. You got an Ana that can keep you going. The Lucio might dive with you a little bit. That's what I would do. But what you did is you stayed here. You used your fire strike, which is good. That should always be on a cooldown. That you should always be using that. But then you just didn't really do much. You had some of your teammates in front of the shield, so I'd have been on the microphone telling them to get back, get behind the shield. And then I'd be also moving up to get into a better position so that they would want to get behind the shield. And then just coordinating the attack. There wasn't much of that. It's just right now a lot of your team's just frustrated because nothing's dying. The attack's not going so good. You're at the first choke, and you guys basically stalled out almost immediately. So let's see what happens here.
My shield low.
Jinx, can you solo heal for a second?
My shield's gone.
We needed Goblin on Winston. This guy isn't doing anything with me.
Can you please kill the Genji and Ryan Winston?
My shield's 1100.
Okay, so you do a good job. You get back in front of the D.Va to protect her.
And I'm dead.
And now you're in a swing battle. And okay, so right. Let's rewind this just a little bit. All right.
My shield's 1100.
And I'm dead.
Okay, right here. So you're probably stuck just thinking about who you're swinging against, but let's look at this. So you're at 17 hit points, and this battle's lost. The Genji's already killed 2 people, and he's still mid-ult. And then on top of that, the soldier took out the Hanzo, even before the guy, maybe around the same time that this ult happened. So you're kind of in a tough spot here. You do have your charge. You didn't get a chance to use the charge. Now, it would have been a lot to ask to try to get out of this battle. I get that. I don't know why you guys are solo healing right now. That's not what this team needed. Yeah, I guess they're really. Now that I think, I was gonna make a point, but I'm kind of second guessing what I was gonna say because your hit points are already so low. If we rewind just a little bit,
My shield's
so you move up in front of the D.Va and you just get hammered when you fire striked. You know, okay, so by the time the Genji ults, you're already at basically half life at this point. And I really think that the fire strike actually was part of the problem. Like I'm kind of watching this and I want to say things and then I'm kind of second guessing it, which means I can't really harp on you too badly for anything that you do because this all has to be split-second decision stuff anyway. But what you probably should have did, I went too far back, is probably fire strike right here because okay, you've got your D.Va mech right there, and she's full health. She's purple, so she's not going to get healed anyway, but she's full health. She's probably still got all of her defense matrix. So what you could do is you fire strike in here just from where you're at. You've got a clear line of sight on that soldier. You could try shooting for him, maybe just slide over to the right just a little bit and then fire strike in. But you know, when I watched it live the first time, I didn't mind what you did either with, you know, trying to jump back up and shielding the D.Va. But the more I think about it, I think that's actually poor positioning in this particular case because the D.Va is going to have her defense matrix. So, you know, what is D.Va good for? She's good for diving in, taking up some damage, harassing the backline, and then diving back out again. So if she defense matrix up in here, kind of blocks a lot of the damage coming in, that's almost a shield for you to fire strike in, do some damage, but instead you move in and then you lose your solo healing right now. And I'm not sure if you picked up on that or not when you were in this game at this point because there's a lot of switching going around, so it can be hard to pick up on some of that sometimes. But when you're a solo healing and you're playing Reinhardt, you have to kind of play soft. You have to play very cautious. You can't be that aggressive, because if the tanks start taking a ton of damage, that's putting a lot of pressure and it's asking a lot from the Ana. So I think you overextended a little bit here.
1100.
Because see, okay, you move up. Now let's see what we got here. So we got Roadhog, who's gonna melt you instantly. You've got your ulting Genji, who's right here, and he's primed to take a shot at you. You've got a soldier who looks like he's firing right at you, or right around you, and he could easily switch over to you in half a millisecond. And then you've got a Reinhardt here, who we know you're about to have a fight with anyway. So for you to fire strike right here, you're asking a lot from the Ana to keep you alive, because you need to be alive when you're solo healing. You got to be the brunt of the damage, soaking up the damage with your shield, and this didn't happen here. So let's watch this fight play out.
And I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Okay, so looking at the team composition here, so we're running triple tank with a solo Ana, and then on top of that you've got 2 DPSs that cannot self-heal, and you've got 2 tanks that can't self-heal. This team composition is not very good, and assuming nobody switches off, I expect you guys not to get too far on your next push either. What I would be looking for here, I would probably be looking for the Diva to go Zenyatta or Lucio. Mercy could be okay too if you guys feel that you're taking too much damage. That would allow you to play a little bit more aggressive. But I would say Zenyatta, I think, would actually be a good pick, because it seems like nothing's dying, so Zenyatta could provide a little extra of that DPS support. But let's see what you guys do here.
Damn it.
I can't do anything.
Because right now, the Diva's not really countering anything. I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure why you guys switched to a Diva.
Funky, are you having
The
problems?
Genji.
No, dude,
It's the Genji. I can't block a Genji.
Alright, go, Jackner, go.
There you go. You finally use your charge, and then you get slept. That's unfortunate. All right. Let's recap something that just happened here. Okay, so
Genji.
I want to get a better
can't
look
block
at this.
a Genji.
Oh. I want to see what you're seeing here. I'm not really sure why you hammered down. I think that could have waited. You had a nice charge on the Reinhardt. So if you charge here and you squash a sleeping Reinhardt, you hammer him into the wall, take a swing or two, and then look that way, and then hammer down. I'm betting if we get a view of that, this would have been more effective. Okay, so you got slept. Now, let's see what happens when you look to the left here. Oh, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong there. It ended up working. I want to talk about the Ana ult. So Ana, she just ulted Reinhardt. Why is this not a good ult? Because there's no Lucio on your team to speed boost you. The only time, in my opinion, that it's okay for an Ana to ult a Reinhardt, with certain exceptions being left out, is when you guys are already fighting on the point and everybody's already kind of diving on the Reinhardt. It's okay to ult the Reinhardt then. Otherwise, you need the Lucio for the speed boost so that he can chase people down with his hammer swings. Otherwise, I'm not a fan of it. I personally think the Ana should have saved her ult for the Genji or the soldier. Comboing ults with either of those two would have been a deadly team wipe most likely. Now, it ended up working kind of, but you didn't get anything off of that Ana ult. Okay, so now we got... Okay, good. You guys melted the Reinhardt. Roadhog's hook did nothing. Looks like he just missed it, or maybe he didn't have ammo. Alright, good. So you guys got the first point.
Genji's on point. He's nano.
Or maybe you didn't. I don't know. Even with an ulting Genji. Or a nanoed Genji, excuse me. Uh-oh. Maybe you don't get the point. Make sure you stay on it. Okay, yep, you got it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like I said, triple DPS is the strongest meta at the moment.
So you say triple DPS, but you don't have triple DPS.
Is the strongest meta at the moment.
Oh wait, yeah, you do have triple. Oh, okay, the Winston switched. Okay. Alright, excuse me. I was wrong there. Okay, so now this composition, because, alright, we're changing so much that I just have to keep pausing and talking about it here, but that's okay. So with this composition, it's gotten better, but I still don't like it. You're still asking quite a bit from your Ana. However, she's gotten a little bit of help now because she has a soldier who can kind of self-heal and heal some other people. If it's coordinated, I don't know if it will be or not. You've got a dead Hanzo sitting on an ult, so you don't want to ask him to switch. I also wouldn't really think about asking the Genji to switch, but what I might be considering at this point now is having the D.Va blow her ult at first opportunity and still then go back to some type of a healer. Or I would be looking at the Hanzo blowing his ult and then switching to some other kind of a healer. It's not that I don't dislike the 3 DPS. It's that I don't like 3 DPS with 2 tanks. Unless one of the tanks is a Roadhog who can self-heal. And basically what I'm looking at here is taking pressure off of the Ana. That's what I'm getting at. I see you guys putting a lot of pressure on Ana right now. So let's see how this goes.
Although
With one tank, not two.
And actually, I want to point out something else here. So the other reason why I am concerned about the Ana, one, they've got a sniper that could be looking out for any time that Ana has to be in a bad position. She could get sniped in a heartbeat. You've got a Genji, an enemy Genji, that could be harassing her. And then you've also got a Roadhog that could potentially hook her. Because if I'm paying attention on that team, and I see that we've got a solo healing Ana composition to go up against, everything should be focused on taking this Ana out. And that's why I'm harping so much on the healing. Now, with that being said, the same thing could be said with this Ana. Also a solo heal. However, she's got help. She's got 2 people she doesn't have to worry about as much. So, and then on top of that, there's not as much pressure on her. So you've got a D.Va that, D.Va can dive on her. That's true. However, Roadhog's going to be able to protect that a little bit. You've got a soldier that can maybe pick at her a little bit if she gets out of position, but she's got that Reinhardt shield to hide behind. Then you've got a Hanzo. If he's a good shot, yeah, especially if he can get a scatter in there. And then you've got the Genji that can dive. However, we're still worried about those hooks. And then there's also the Widow that could maybe defend a little bit too. So that's where I'm getting at here with the healing. The enemy team has the better comp right now, in my opinion. But let's see how this plays out.
But if they're doing it and it's working for us, fuck it, I'm not complaining. You guys can help me get down the Ryan shield. I can use my ult.
I'm at 14, 13. I'm fighting the Rhine. I got pinned, I'm dead. The Rhine's lit.
So, alright. Alright. Let's rewind here. Alright, right here. So you're whittling down a little bit. You're at 397. If you charge right here, it's a Rhine for a Rhine. That might be pretty good odds for both team compositions to just, you know, if you just charge them off the map. It's about an even trade in terms of getting back to the fight, which to me says, try it, because why not? You know, if you can eliminate a Rhine for a Rhine, that's what I would have done here. For whatever reason, the Ana doesn't seem to be healing you.
I got pinned, I'm dead.
And I don't understand that. I don't know where this Ana is. And now Genji's down. So, okay, let's look at this a bit. The Genji took out the Diva mech, the Sniper took out the Hanzo, and the Genji's down, plus you died. Okay, so the Rhine, yeah, this is definitely a lost fight at this point. But I'm not sure what the Ana's healing, and I'd be questioning that right now. And then that's also why I'd be also calling for a second healer. So now the Hanzo went Winston, so now we're triple tank, double DPS that does not self-heal, and we have an Ana.
In that case, stay behind me, Jinx. You protect the other goblin.
You're ready to nano play once I see that healer.
Not really sure why Diva's running the defense matrix. All she's got to do is stand behind your shield and save all that. You know, if Diva had her, okay, she does have a little bit of defense matrix, but she could have been diving in. In fact, she needed to be diving in. Okay, so let's rewind just a little bit here. Okay. So we haven't seen their Reinhardt ult in a while. I can't actually remember when he has yet, which should be telling you, if you're in a Reinhardt battle, you need to be paying attention to when he has his ult, when he should have his ult, and if you're a Reinhardt main, you should know when the enemy Reinhardt has his ult, and when he uses it, and when he should be looking to use it. It's a big chess match between Reinhardt and Reinhardt's, and he hasn't used it in a while. I can't remember when he's first used it, but the fact of the matter is he hasn't used it in a while. So what do? You turn around and look that way. What does he do? He hammers down and takes out your healer and you, and I'm not sure if there was anybody else. But that's not good. You gotta be... The only counter to a Reinhardt is another Reinhardt. I think Soldier's in there too. So Ana's down, Soldier's down. So this is already a lost fight. At this point, I'd be charging out of there so that I don't feed the enemy team ult. Maybe shielding and walking backwards, that can work too. Yeah, at this point it's... Oh, and you got picked. Right. So... Okay, so you shield, you walk back. You should have just stayed right here or kept walking back to spawn. What are you doing here? Why do you poke out? Your shield's not even up. I'm guessing you probably wanted to fire strike here, but look at your health. You're down to 46 hit points already. I mean, this is bad positioning. And if you're gonna play Reinhardt, you need to always be in position, because if the Reinhardt's out of position, the whole team's gonna melt. So now the whole team's gonna... They're either pushing in without you. They're pushing in without you.
I'm going.
I'm pushing the point. Just handle everyone else.
Okay, so you got 3 down right now, and that was without you even being involved in the fight. So right now your team's carrying you.
Let her get away.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's going to be times where you carry the team too, I'm sure.
I'm sorry.
So right now, you guys got 4 picks to their 1 pick. The Widow's completely out of position. D.Va dives on her.
I'm hooked by Roadhog.
Okay, the road... Oh, wow.
I did what I could.
Okay, so let's look at this now.
Got hooked by Roadhog.
Okay, so as you say, you got hooked by Roadhog. He's just going to drive you back. Like, you're in trouble here. There's nothing you can do except hold your shield up and just pray it outlasts the Roadhog whole hog, which it's not going to do. Let's be real, that's not going to happen. But the idea is that you withstand the brunt of the force, and that the Ana's going to heal you and keep you alive, and you're just going to outlast it. There's a Reinhardt and D.Va battle going to the other side. What you should be calling for is you should be saying Roadhog is ulting. I'm going to need help in a couple seconds. The D.Va should be coming over here and then defense matrixing by the time that they pick up on your message, realize what's going on. Your shield will be breaking around that time if they're actually, you know, competent and paying attention. But you got to call that out. If you don't call that out, you're gonna lose your shield, possibly your life, and Ana may or may not save you. I wouldn't be counting on this Ana to save you, because she hasn't really seemed to be focusing on healing you as much as I would have liked them to. So if we play what this actually happens, you take your shield down, you get hammered back from the Roadhog ult, and you hammer down here. So first of all, you aim that way when the Roadhog was right in front of you. So that part is bad in its own right, because you could have just countered that ult entirely by doing that. Which actually, I'm not complaining about the time you chose to do it, but your aim is not good here. I'm not sure. Let's see if you actually get the Reinhardt. Yeah, it looked like you did. Okay, so in a way, you actually countered this in a way that was better than what I was expecting. Had you not have hammered down and just got driven back a little bit, what I would have done here, first of all, I don't know if I would have hammered down here. I'm not saying it was bad that you did, assuming you kind of went more in a straight line. But what you did is actually something I didn't think about, but I'm thinking about it now. So you get driven back over here. The Roadhog, all his damage is real close, so you just put some distance between him. Put your shield up. Just withstand it. You still have 762 hit points on your shield. And now his ult is more spread out. You'd have outlasted that. You definitely would have outlasted that. But instead you choose to charge. I don't know why you're charging here. I don't know what you hope to accomplish by charging into a Roadhog ult. I mean, that's suicide, that's throwing. In my book, that's a throw right there.
We got it.
Now your team completely carried on that.
I'm sorry, there was one, the Ana, I didn't even notice you. I'm sorry. There was an Ana right in the corner right here I was trying to get because she was low.
Alright, let's see how this third push goes. So we got a D.Va out of mech. Alright, let's look at this. So D.Va's out of mech. So that's meant to say baby, but I know the penmanship's not that good. Alright, so we got baby D.Va. So this comp hasn't really changed. This is still the same. I'm not going to touch on that too much. So the Widow switched to Bastion, and nothing else here has changed. So what do we have to kill a Bastion? We've got a Genji. When D.Va's back in mech, she can eat up a lot of the shots. The soldier can kind of rein in on it. But you guys got to break this shield. What do you guys have to break the shield before the Bastion just tears into whatever defenses you set up. You don't really have anything. I mean, the soldier can shoot at it all he wants, but if it's just a soldier shooting at it, that shield's not going to break. Especially with a Roadhog and another soldier and a Genji and the shield's not going to break. So this comp, you're going to get out damaged pretty badly here. Let's see what happens, but I'm expecting you guys to lose the shield battle and the Bastion to kind of overcome you guys. That's what I'm expecting. Let's see if that happens.
Outcast. Fuck. Hey, Outcast, Winston, stay with us, bro. Come on.
So Genji's down. This is already a kind of a lost fight.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
We need to regroup.
Good call on the regroup.
Push through the left.
However, Genji's... Okay, he kind of falls back. He's trying to poke a little bit. Okay, Diva just died when you guys called to fall back and regroup.
Left with me.
I don't know where... I'm not actually sure where the Diva was.
Trying to use my ult here.
Gonna
Okay.
have to charge it a bit.
So, alright. Diva just died and you guys are pushing in. So you're already pushing in at a 5 versus 6. So this is not ideal. You guys should have waited for the Diva to respawn. So now we have a Zarya. I'm guessing for the Winston. And I'm not sure that's a good pick either. If she can get charged with her bubble, then I'm okay with it. But if she doesn't, then that's still not going to be much damage. So, okay, you guys kind of dived the Bastion, and you got him. So, alright, that's good.
Save it then.
Need to do.
Oh, fucking
Oh, well, now we can't use it no matter what.
I'm dead.
Yeah, that was a team wipe.
I'm here. I'm here.
You're the only one there.
Yeah, and the reason why Diva's the only one there is because you guys pushed in without her.
Freaking just nano me.
And then she's just going to get melted because it's literally just her at that point.
We
So that's why that's why that last push failed, is because you guys went in 5 or 6. And then on top of that, I want to talk about all the switching going on here. I don't know, I can't get it to come up.
49 win rate.
So, alright, while you guys are choosing your next comp, taking Zarya that late into a push, in my opinion, is a mistake. And the reason why I think it's a mistake, I'm going to pause here just so we can talk about your new team comp. But the reason why I say picking a Zarya that late in a team comp is a mistake is because Zarya typically takes a little while to build an ult, and while her ult would have been good for that last stretch of a push, she's not going to have it by the time you need it. I don't necessarily think the Winston was a good pick either toward the end of the round, although it's not the worst pick in the world because if you can harass the Ana, I don't know if he was or not though. Again, I've been stressing this all game, but having a second healer would have been great. Now, it looks like you guys are going to have double healing on Tandre here. The only concern I have is now I think you guys are overhealing. So you guys went from underhealing to overhealing. Ana and Mercy combination, I think, is overdoing it. Because you guys got... I'm assuming you're either going to go Reinhardt or Roadhog. If you go Roadhog, then I'm actually okay with the Ana Mercy, but if you go Reinhardt, you're overdoing the healing. And then you guys are putting yourself in a big damage problem. So let's see what you do. Okay, so if you're Reinhardt, I say you're overhealing and you guys are going to have a damage problem, assuming nobody switches. But the way that this game's been going, there's been so many switches in this game, I'm almost tentative to pause and talk about team compositions. But yeah, if I was on your team right now, I would be questioning the amount of damage I'd be getting from this team. If I was the Mercy, I'd be looking at damage boosting the McCree or the Diva. Or I'd encourage the Ana to be a little bit more of a DPS Ana. But really, I'd be
That's
looking
better.
for maybe a Zenyatta or a Lucio. It's a nice meme.
Fuck.
14, 13, 9, 7, 6. I need a recharge.
Them Bastion. Oh.
So you do a good job communicating to your team about your shield melting. I like that, and I can appreciate that.
But they need to be in the right position.
So right now, you guys don't really have much of anything to really dive on that Bastion, assuming that they support the Bastion properly. And they are, actually, with the Diva and the Reinhardt, that they can block anything.
Can't go Genji to counter this guy.
Okay, so you charge out completely to escape. And I'm surprised you needed to do that, considering the kind of healing you should be able to get from an Ana and a Mercy. I'd really gotta question what's going on with the healing. I actually want to rewind this and just make sure that none of them died. I'm gonna go right to here.
Fuck.
Hey, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So the Mercy's on you right now, and she's healing you with full health. So I want to point this out too. She's healing you, and you're full health. I gotta assume there's somebody else she could be healing right now, or damage boosting for that matter. The Genji's dead. That's one person that could have been using the healing. So I just want to point out for the Mercies out there, or the Annas, or anybody else that just really primarily focuses on keeping their Reinhardts healed when they don't need to be healed, when there's clearly other people that need healing, like the Genji, you gotta wonder, what are they doing? I don't understand what this Mercy's doing right now. She could be damage boosting you for a fire strike, or she could have been trying to keep that Genji alive. So you get your fire strike in there. The Mercy's... Okay, so Mercy's already shot. I missed that. So she got scatter shotted. So if I'm paying attention to that, I'd be curious where that scatter shot came from, because we didn't see that on the screen.
He's vulnerable. He's vulnerable. My shield's low. I need to back off.
Okay. Hanzo's right there, so I'm not... he must have scattered just when your shield went down and the Mercy didn't take cover. So, assuming that's what happened, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, tell the Mercy, tell the people behind you when your shield's going down so that they can seek other cover, because there's nothing that'll tilt me more when I'm actually behind the big rectangle from Rectangle Man, and then he brings his shield down and he doesn't even warn you about it. I hate that so much. And it costs... I can't tell you how many times it's cost me a match or a push or a fight. And it's going to cost you this fight. Because now your Diva just went down. The Mercy went down from the shield. This is a lost fight. And I'm completely okay with you completely just bailing out. At first I was kind of questioning it, but I wasn't really doing a good job looking at the kill feed. So you did good bailing out of this. This was a lost fight. Now Mercy was able to fly to you. She was healing you, but she didn't finish healing you. Good job booping the Reinhardt off. However, you didn't call that. You didn't call it. So... right here, you need to call the position of the Reinhardt. Hey, I knocked Reinhardt off the point. The Bastion's alone. You know, raise hell, bring hell on him. Your McCree is still up there, I think. Pretty sure he is. They've got, I think that, I can't tell who that is. Kind of looks like a McCree. You got Baby Diva, so there's still going to be a little bit of support around the Bastion. But he's vulnerable right now. You should be calling that out for your team to take advantage. You don't do that. The Reinhardt's basically back. You've died, and your team's in a worse off position for it, and the kill feed's showing it. Diva's dead, Reinhardt's dead, Mercy's dead. Yeah, there's nothing here. This is a lost fight. If any of these three can bail out and not charge ult, they should be doing that right now. Looking at their team composition, considering they're attacking, you know, you're going to have these two really heavily protecting the Bastion. I'm surprised they're still only solo healing. What I would be now, just pretending I was on this team, I'd be encouraging the Ana should be going Mercy to damage boost Bastion and also have Res. If they ever kill the Bastion, they can bring them back. The other thing I'd be looking at doing is having one of Genji and Hanzo switching to Zenyatta for a Discord Orb, just to help the Bastion melt people a little bit faster and to help the solo DPS. And also with Zenyatta, he's kind of a mini DPS anyway. So that's what I'd be looking for off of the red team. So, okay, your team composition's changed a little bit. So right now, I like this, the Pharah Mercy combination. The problem is you have no other healing again. We went from overhealing to underhealing dramatically. These two can play off of each other and probably take him out. Because there's really nothing here to counter Pharah unless the Hanzo's got impeccable aim. Can be done, but it's asking a lot of the Hanzo, and it makes Hanzo a less valuable pick. Not to say he can't pick a Pharah out of the sky. He definitely can, but it's harder. It's definitely harder for him. So, either Diva or Winston should be going other healer, because I'd still say keep the Genji. Genji can reflect a Bastion. And instead we get Orisa. Orisa's definitely not what we need. I mean, I get that you guys can have a lot more shielding for the Bastion to have to shoot through, but he's going to be able to melt through these shields, especially because there's just not going to be a lot of pressure put on him with this composition. Okay, somebody's calling out for two healers now.
And I'm gold as you with the eliminations, and I haven't been doing DPS, and you have. And
So this team's getting tilted.
There's no healing.
So, alright, we're down 2 already. This is another lost fight. I'm not really sure what happened here, and I'm not sure we're going to see it either. I want to start right here and rewatch this. Okay, so you call for them to back off, and I think that's a good call out. I would agree with that. So they're starting to push you. What I would be doing now is trying to make them shush because they're tilting and they're just spamming the microphone at this point. They're just arguing with each other, which isn't good for anything. It's going to bring down team morale. It's just not good for anything. So they're pushing you after you told everybody to kind of hang back. If they actually are hanging back, they should be able to reinforce you right now.
I've been playing healer, and I'm gold.
So they kind of fall back a little bit. You got Mercy with you. So, alright, you try to get your fire shot in, which is good because you got Mercy with you. Okay, so there's a Genji on Genji fight somewhere, and Genji never calls it out, so we don't even see that happening. We don't know that that's happening. This is why communication in Overwatch is so important. If you don't communicate these sort of things, we're living in our own little world.
I need healing, like, there's no healing.
Genji needs healing, no surprise there. Okay, so now Winston must have dived on the point without calling it. And the Winston was one of the tilters. So he just dived on point without calling it, which is a throw at this point. You just threw your life away. And as a Winston, what are you going to do diving on the point against a Bastion? I'm trying to see if we can at least... Yeah, that's him right there. So he dived on the point. My guess is he was probably going for Genji. But Bastion's on the cart. So he's covered. You can't go for a Genji when there's a Bastion sitting right next to him. And on top of that, you've got no Reinhardt to cover you. Everybody was told to fall back, but 2 people dived anyway. And without communicating it. So now you're already down 4-6. This is a lost fight.
Damn it.
And now you're down when you tried to hammer down. Now, the enemy team just saved you. That would have been a stupid ult because you were already at a lost fight. There would have been no follow-up unless the Pharah maybe could kill something, but you didn't call your ult. Nobody would have been looking for it. If I was part of this team, I would have been falling back because I would have already seen this basically be a dead fight. Now, it looks like the Winston got resurrected. There must have been a res somewhere along here. This is before the last patch, so we don't see the Mercy reses in the kill feed. Okay, Winston takes out Bastion, but Bastion killed you before that happened. So right now it's a 5-on-5. So Mercy must have rezzed. It's not a terrible res. It kind of keeps you guys going. However, the Winston's dead again and the Genji's dead again. So the res got washed out and all you guys had to show for it was a dead Bastion. And Fair managed to pick off Hanzo. But okay, so actually the Hanzo took out Farah too, so that's a wipe. That's a wash. Sorry, not a wipe, but a wash. It's a lost fight again. It's a completely lost fight. Now, if there's any other picks made from the enemy team, they were overextended and either couldn't fall back in time or they were just overextended and tried to fight. So you dive on point to stop it. The Bastion's got the high ground. Genji's ulted. It's another team wipe. Bastion ulted too. Wow, yeah, that's literally a team wipe.
Diva was pushing me.
Okay, so here's the good news. The enemy team just burned a lot of ults. We have... What do we have here? So Bastion just used his. Genji used his. He was also nano-bladed, so Ana used his. So you only have these 3, I think, to look out for. Hanzo's probably has his. Diva probably has hers. I'm not sure if Reinhardt's going to have his. I think he's going to, but I'm not sure. But if you're not sure, it's better to play it safe and expect him to have it. So let's see how you play against this enemy Reinhardt. And if your mind's in the game and you haven't tilted with the rest of your team, you should be thinking about that.
We need to get the payloads all the way out there. We need to get out there now.
That's a good call out. Now, Winston just... Yeah, I don't know what this Winston's trying to do, but he's throwing this game and he's going to cost you this game. So he just dived. Like, this is really bad Winston play. There he is, he died. So he died to an Ana grenade, and we can't see Ana. So we know there's an Ana somewhere in that vicinity. Bastion's right here. Winston can't do anything to that Bastion. Let's just be real. When 2 teams have recomposed and you're about to meet, and Winston just dives on the whole team and just starts shooting at Bastion, that's not good. That's not good at all. So Bastion's just instantly melted.
Seriously? Shut up, dude. Bastion's left. 1.
Okay, so Hanzo ulted like I would have expected him to. Now that's a good ult. It's a very good ult. So remember how I said your team carried you in the other round? That was a good ult. However, now this is where you made your mistake. I'll try to pull this back up here.
Shut up, dude. Bastion's left. 1.
Let's rewatch this. Okay. look at all these guys that you got. Now, I say that's a good ult, but here's the problem that you got to remember. So, okay, yeah, this guy's he's tilted at this point. There's no talking to him, and he knows it. He left voice chat, which is not good, but he probably knows he's playing bad and he's frustrated by it. And then on top of the, the kind of angry communication going on, he's just tilted and at this point pretty much gone and useless. Now, here's the problem with this ult. You do a very good job. You took out 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if there's another one somewhere in this vicinity, but you for sure got 3. That in its own right is good, and you timed it perfectly, catching Reinhardt in a fire strike with his shield down. That Reinhardt should have known that you have your ult. So you do a very good job here, but this is where your problem is. Pharah's dead, and all you have to follow up is Genji. Now, Genji is probably going to save you on this ult, I think. But here's the problem. You didn't communicate that you were looking for your ult or that you had it. You should be telling your team, hey, I've got hammered down. I'm looking for it, and the first opportunity I have, I'm going to use it. You didn't do that, so at that point, this is a blind ult, and you almost didn't have any follow-up whatsoever. Now, I don't know if this Genji is going to be able to mop up much, because he's not going to get the nano blade. He might get 2. I'm going to say he's going to get 2. He gets Bastion. He gets Hanzo.
The point.
Yeah.
You can't get to it.
And then that's it. So here's the thing here.
I thought he'd be dead.
Here's the other problem. You guys were, I want to see if I can, yeah, this is actually a good shot. Look how close they are to getting it. You got to play a little differently when you're in this situation. The other thing you're not thinking about is alright, so you're down to a 5 or 6 at this point that I paused it at. But as we keep watching, I'm going to just mute this here. As we keep watching, okay, now you're down a healer, so now it's a 4 versus 6. So you ult here. Now it's a 3 versus 6. Pharah's down. So if it's 3 versus 6, and now you got 3 of them down, that puts it at a 3v3, assuming temporarily it's a 3v3. Where are the others? Where are the other people? They're not on the screen, which means, okay, so there's Anna. She's right behind you. So there's 2 of them actually right behind you on the cart. I'm guessing I think that's their diva. Anna's right there, so she's going to stay on that diva. Which means that they're going to have 2 on the cart. And it already says 2 on the cart. Anna's not close enough to be on it. So they basically got the other 3 that you didn't hammer down are focusing on the payload. And because you're not focusing on the payload, they're going to get it. Oh, that's Reinhardt. Okay, so Reinhardt, Diva, and Anna are focusing on the cart, and they're all on it. So it's a tough, the Winston puts you in a tough position, but you kind of had to play it a little bit. You had to play back more. You pushed a little too bit. You put yourself in a bad position, and they took the point because of it. So you had to play back a little bit more. I want to see if I can get this, rewind this back a little bit. So what you should have done right here is make right here your last line of defense, and nothing moves you off of this. And if that means you have to sit on your ult for a while until your team comes back, that's what just has to happen. I mean, that ult was good because it knocked a bunch of guys down, but you had no follow-up, and you had nobody to keep the point from moving. So when you go over here and ult, and they all come through and push, there's nothing to stop it. You should have made this your final line of defense right here. That would have been proper positioning. Now, would it have worked? Would it have won you the game? Would you have made an amazing defensive hold? I don't know. Probably not. But it gives you a better fighting chance. Because if you hang right here, and you've got Genji kind of raining down, and then he ults, maybe the Ana stays alive from you doing that. You know, it's hard to say, but that's what I would advise. Because the second you go like this, your shield is like this. Anybody back here can shoot in. Anybody over here can shoot in. If you're right there, none of that gets through. You're blocking everything at that point, except for maybe, you know, from up there, because I think they have a Pharah at this point. But, you know, when you're right here, when you move over here, there's nobody back there. So nobody's getting any benefit from your shield but you. If you had the follow-up, you know, if your team didn't all dive in and start dying, I think I'd be okay with your positioning then. But it's more about the game awareness at this point. And your game awareness didn't tell you, hey, I got to play really careful and just stay right over here. And that, I'm not going to say it cost you the game, because really, if we're going to be real, the Winston cost you that game. And it was also the poor team composition. So a few things to point out, because this is going to be the end of the video. And this is probably going to be the longest video I've done for this series, which is good. The thing I want to point out the most is team composition. The team composition, you guys were really hurting on healing for the majority of the game. And there was so much swapping and so little communication about the swapping that it was really hard to follow just watching the game with pausing it, that I don't know how somebody playing in one of your games could have followed that team composition and made sense of it all, which hurts you. So if you're going to have so much swapping, because I noticed the majority of it came from your group, not all of it though, but the majority of it did. You got to communicate the swapping. Overwatch is a game of swapping and countering, so the swapping in its own right, I don't have a problem with. It's about how you swap, communicating the swaps, and swapping properly. I don't know that the swapping was done properly. It wasn't communicated the greatest. And you guys hurt yourself and put yourselves behind a bit on the healing. They were running a solo healer. You guys could have took advantage of that. Instead, you guys put yourself in the same situation, and it was really at that point a battle of what Ana could be the best Ana. So that would be number one to look at. Number two, your positioning in general, and game awareness. I don't know how much you watch this during the game, but if you're playing Reinhardt, I think you've got a little bit more time to look at that or pay attention to it than most do, aside from maybe like a Lucio type. Start getting into the habit of paying attention to that and using that for callouts a little bit. Pay attention to what your shield is blocking. In a situation like what I have on the screen right here, you know, you got to kind of think, what am I blocking? Who's benefiting from this shield? And in a case like this, nobody was. So pay attention to that. Aside from that, I'd say just work on the communication a little bit. You guys talked a little bit more than the majority of the videos that have been submitted to me, which is a good start. But there were still times where you could have made better callouts, trying to coordinate alternates. When you've got a Reinhardt ult, that's a really powerful ult. Just coordinate it more, call it out more. Yeah, that's really about all I've got for you though. Just work on the communication, work on the positioning a little bit, and try to be a little bit more aware of what's going on in terms of like the kill feed and stuff like that. Try to figure out when it's a 4 versus 6, a 5 versus 6, when you should be pushing, when you should be falling back. When you're solo healing, you have to be a more passive Reinhardt than an aggressive one. When you've got good healing, that's when you can be a really strong one. Or if you've got a Zarya, that would be another good opportunity to be a aggressive Reinhardt. So, this is episode 5 of the Overwatch Coach. I know at the beginning I said this was a Roadhog video. I was wrong. I got fooled. It's a Reinhardt video. So, I'm going to do a little graphic editing and get this video up on YouTube. I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed the video. And in a couple days we'll have season 5. So, enjoy this off season. Rest up. Rest your mind from the fatigue of season 4. Make sure you guys go into season 5 fresh, ready to go, not tilted. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.